Hey, hey, hey. Good evening. So, yeah, I'm gonna give a few minutes for y'all to get on. But it really doesn't matter because I'm going to post the video anyway once it's over. It's Friday. It's Friday. Hope everybody had a good week. I had a great week. I was off this week, so I hit my third or fourth vacation for the summer. Have 2 more to go if I don't add another one in there somewhere. But I had a great week, so I hope you all had a great week. School starts out here Monday for our area, for our county. But things aren't looking kind of good with COVID, so we'll see how that goes. But at the daycare, we'll be starting first day on Monday, doing what we do. So again, hope everybody had a good week. I'm going to take my walk around because y'all know that's how I do. Welcome to my camper. So if y'all noticed, when I got started, I was sitting on the step. So I like to just walk around and check it out, make sure things are good. I have yet to take it out. Don't judge me. It will go out soon enough. I was really hoping to join the melanin camping weekend in the mountains, in Georgia mountains. Hopefully I'll still be able to do that. But again, y'all notice I'm sitting at the door because Georgia, for the last few days, I came back last night. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I came back yesterday, and Georgia had a heat advisory going on. So, of course, it's crazy hot outside, which means it's crazy hot in here. So I'm not going to be sitting in here. I don't know if y'all can hear in the background, but I have I got the AC running in the truck. So, and just a short, I'm sure I'm going to switch up and I'm going to get in the truck. But we are going to get started. We're going to get started. Like usual, when you get on, shout out, say hi, say something so I know who's on here. And I want y'all to, give your thoughts on the discussions at hand. So, let me start off by saying this. I am not a relationship expert. I don't hail to be an expert in relationships. What I do hail in is being a black woman, living this life and doing the damn thing and loving the hell out of it. That's what I claim. I can only come from my experiences. Well, not just my experiences, but sometimes people share things and you can come from different perspectives that people may share. But I really would love for y'all to chime in. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to end up getting in the truck because that was a bug. I definitely want y'all to chime in and give me y'all thoughts. So what's up? I see 4 people on here. If y'all don't mind, let me know who you are. So, I have 2 topics that I was toggling between y'all. Okay? I usually talk to my sister and she kind of gives me good input on what topics to go with. And as usual, I'll pick a topic. Hey, Tiara. As usual, I'll pick a topic that was posted during the week. Something maybe that brought conversation or whatever. I'll go on that topic. But there are 2 that kind of hit home with me in thought, to discuss today. Sorry, heard something. So, the first one I posted on, it was about 5 days ago. And it's a video that someone posted from TikTok. I can't really see the name, but it's from TikTok. And it says, one of the first signs of real love is the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. One of the first signs of real love is the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. That was the first one. The second one says, and this is geared toward the brothers. So every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. Every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. I kind of want to start with that one. I want to start with the every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. So when I read this, I immediately wanted to post it. Because a lot of the times, these type of pages kind of gear toward the female perspective. So anytime there's something that can gear toward the male perspective, I like to post it. So fellas, in saying that, please, please, please post. You guys will actually inbox me and send things to me to post, and I don't mind doing it that way. But I love when y'all hone in and y'all, discuss. So every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. So, what does that no matter what mean? That kind of stood out for me. What does the no matter what mean? And I see kind of how it's coming together to one of the first signs of real love is the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. To me, that no matter what is relevant to the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. They're trying their very best to understand you. So, I have been in several relationships. I'm 49, so I'm definitely not new to the game. Been in several relationships, and I'm one of those women where I feel like it takes two. Like we're a team. You got to be a team player. And I feel like I'm a team player. And I am a team player. And I know I'm a team player. I'm a team player because I understand that it's just not the man's job and responsibility to make sure things are going well. I understand that he has moods and feelings and bad days, and sometimes his finances don't match up to what may be needed, and sometimes his actions don't match up to what I may expect and what I may need. But I understand, again, he's human. A lot of the times, men are put in, with society, men are put in roles of leadership. And that's just what it is. Men are put in roles of leadership. When God created, for those who believe the word of God, the Bible, when God created male and female, he created first the male, and then the male was alone and he was lonely and everything had a mate and everything else but the man, and God created a woman to be his helpmate, he created her for that. So men in the leadership role, men in the position of head, men in the position of who we look to when we need and when we don't have and when we want. Not saying that a woman cannot have her own and does not make her own way. Definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying is, me personally, I look to my man to lead. Now, the question can be, looking for your man to lead. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Y'all know I'm pretty transparent. You got to be a hell of a brother to lead. Not saying you cannot lead. That does not mean you cannot lead. That means that you have to be very confident in yourself. You have to be very sure of yourself, and just be consistent. I just ask for consistency. I think a lot of women just ask for consistency, and that just helps the relationship. But being supportive of your man, the no matter what. What does no matter what mean, though, y'all? Every man needs a woman who won't quit on him, no matter what. So we have expectations. All of us have expectations. Men have expectations. Women have expectations. And it sometimes appears that our expectations... All right, Charisma. My daughter's literally messaging me on here, y'all. Our expectations that we have, ladies, tend to be a little bit heavier than their expectations tend to be. Because, again, we look to them to lead. We look to them to guide. We look to them for safety and security. So we have those expectations. So what do you do when your man doesn't match up to the expectations that you have? What do you do when he is not in the position and holding the position that you expect him to? I am getting in the truck, y'all, because it's hot. All right, let me close this up. And I'm going to get in the truck with this, some air. So what do you do when your man does not hold to those expectations? And that's what this post is pretty much saying. It's asking, it's saying pretty much every man wants a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. So does that mean that you lower your expectations? Does that mean you forget about the things that are important? You forget about the things that are needed for you to support your man? Does that mean that whatever he does, that you should accept that? Is that what that means? Is that what that means? That whatever he does, that you should accept that? You know what I like about this, though? I like when people have time to watch it after it's over and they give their input, because literally that's what happens. There's so many comments that come in after the fact. So if you see a video, because I've done several and they are posted, so if you see something and you want to comment on it, definitely do it then, because it'll be saved there. It's going to be saved. So I think this comes together with let me get back to it. When it comes together with the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. So brothers, if you are doing your best and your best appears not to be good enough, and she's not accepting where you are and what you're doing, and she has an issue and a problem with your shortcomings, then ladies, you have to show him that you are trying to be understanding of him, understanding of how he feels, understanding of what he does. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I tend to be short patience in that area. I can be short patience in that area, and I'm definitely working on that, because we all have our flaws and our downfalls, and we're all not perfect and at our peak perfect all the time. But when you realize that someone is trying to understand you, that's when you know that you're being loved, or you're coming in a position of them falling in love with you or being in love. Because once you get to the point of being in love, usually people try to make everything possible happen to make it work. You're trying to work with everything you have to make it work, because I love this person and I see the potential in them. So when you realize, fellas, being that we started with that she is trying to understand you, and she is trying to understand where you're going and what you're doing and why you react this way and why things are happening that way, then it's time for you to come full circle and appreciate that and accept her for what she's doing, and start to understand how. So a lot of times relationships end and they get in a bad place because people don't take the time to understand each other. People don't give the patience to say, hey, you know what, they're not perfect. There's some things about them that need work. There's some things about me that need work. And if we take the time to focus on that, then this relationship can be perfect for us. Nobody else. No one else may not see it. It's not for them to see. The relationship has to work perfect for the two that are in it, that are involved in it. So when your man, ladies, is not appearing to be at his peak perfect, when he seems to not be performing the way he wants to at work or at home or in you know, whatever he's doing, one thing I always say, the brothers definitely have a hard way to go. I have to tell y'all that. Society gives y'all nothing. Like, if anybody in this world has to work hard for what they have, it is you all. And sometimes situations come where something is laid in your lap, or something is given and something helps, and that is great. But I know what it is to work hard and grind to get to a point of where you want. So when you see your man doing that, ladies, try to give him that support that he needs, because if you don't notice, a stroke of the ego goes a long way. That is not saying the no matter what. The no matter what. What does the no matter what mean? I don't think this is saying the no matter what means if he's cheating, if he's abusive, if he's verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, sexually abusive, on both spectrums. I know this is not saying that as the no matter what. You don't stay in a relationship based on a no matter what. You don't stay in a relationship feeling like, oh, that'll change, the no matter what. If it's a consistent something. And if you see that there's no effort. Now, let's remember, before you came along, this person had a life. They had some things going on before you. They had things that made them who they are. And they may not be the greatest things. They may be imperfect things. They may be things that have made them bitter, have made them closed off, may have been things that hurt. We have to go into relationships realizing this person is not perfect. This person has a past. This person has some residual stuff that built up and affected them. Now, is it their responsibility to handle those things before they go into a relationship? Of course it is. Of course it is. We should not make excuses for our downfalls, but we should admit them, and by admitting them, take accountability for them, responsibility for them, and work to make a change. If you see someone not working to make a change, exit stage left. If they're always right, if they are narcissists, if in narcissism, you guys, there's a plethora of definitions that of things that fall under the definition of a person being a narcissist. I didn't realize my last relationship that I was dealing with one and I had one until you sit back and start seeing stuff and noticing. I just noticed a lot of things. Those type of relationships you don't need to stay in. If that person is not doing anything to help themselves to better help your relationship. There's a guy that I post on here quite often in the group, and let me see if I can come to him. Lee Hammock. And Lee Hammock has a YouTube page as well, and he is what he calls a recovering narcissist, because he realized and recognized that he was a narcissist. He destroyed his relationships being a narcissist. He and his wife, I believe, are still together. Either they're still together or they came back together, if I'm understanding correctly, listening to his story. He calls himself a recovering narcissist. And he gives so many great clips on what a narcissist is. And how do you know that you're dealing with a narcissist? And how do you know what a narcissist looks like? And he always says, he always points to himself. And he always, brings out the point that, he includes himself. Because he knows that he was there at some point. But again, he's a recovering narcissist. That's what he calls himself. And I love his page because he puts out a lot of information. And there are things sometimes that you hear that are familiar. There are things sometimes that you hear that may be familiar to self, or they may be familiar with someone you're dealing with or you dealt with. If that person is not willing to make a change and make an adjustment, then no, you got to take care of self. You got to take care of self. So back to the post. Every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. Ladies, giving your man support is crucial to his well-being, his everyday well-being. It's crucial to his everyday well-being. Now, I know some women that say, I'm not his mother. It's not my job to raise him. He should already know better. He should this and he should that and he should this and he should that. Again, men are people too. They are not perfect. But, here's the but. Does not mean you accept bad behavior. It does not mean you accept abuse of any kind. It does not mean you accept being used. But we have to understand they go through things as well. They had a life before us too. They had some childhood trauma. They had some adulthood trauma. And we have to understand when we get to the point where we're trying to understand one another, I always say if anything is worth having, it's work. You work hard for it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking over here. I got distracted. They are actually doing a deep cleaning of the daycare. Wow. Okay. It's not something that I just say, of course. It's a saying that we've heard, of course. Anything worth having is worth working for. And sometimes you have to work hard. We can't just jump in relationships and just give up and give in because it got hard. Everything is not going to be fun all the time. This brother is going to have bad days. This woman is going to have bad days. And if your goal and purpose is not to help your significant other get through those bad days, then you have no business being in that relationship. You have no business wasting their time. Because there is no perfection in anyone. I don't care how good you think you are. I don't care how much you've mastered this and you've mastered that. There is something about you that's going to be harmful in some way to someone else. And we have to respect those differences enough to say, what's the no matter what? What is the no matter what? Do I break up with him because he didn't show up on time? Did I break up with him? Do I break up with him because he lost his job? Do I break up with him because he has an issue with raising his voice? Do I break up with him because he didn't do what he said he was going to do this time? Consistency is key. Consistency is important. But we have to understand and know that there's no perfection in any of us. Now, me personally, like, consistency is so heavy and hard for me. That's my number one. If you can't be consistent, don't waste my time. This is what consistency looks like to me. All right, we plan to do something, and we have a normal routine pretty much of doing a certain thing, and you're consistent with that. You're consistent with calling me. You're consistent with checking on me. You're consistent with texting me or whatever. And we make plans to do something, and you can't do it. And you can't do it. So, if you can't do it, this is what consistency means to Donna. If you can't do what you said you were going to do, you give a legitimate excuse for it. Excuses, we always like, oh, you had an excuse. This excuse. Excuses are good things. Like, excuses does not have to have a negative connotation to it. An excuse means I'm given a reason for why I cannot do something or I need to do something different. An excuse. So if you give a legitimate excuse, if you give an excuse to why your consistency has been broken, then that helps and that works. Be consistent in what you're doing, even if it's breaking a promise, even if it is how you come in breaking that promise. I mean, don't be consistent in breaking your promises. Be consistent in how you give a reason for breaking that promise. Doesn't mean you get to keep breaking promises. Just because you have an excuse for it doesn't mean you keep doing it. That means, hey, I can't do it this time, or I'm not able to that time, or whatever. So you give a reason for it. It's simple as that. That's called communication. And so many people lose it because I've heard men say, I don't have to give a reason for why I'm not doing XYZ. But yet you want the woman to stick around for ABC. And you can't even give a legitimate reason or excuse because you feel like I don't have to do that. Like she just should accept what I'm giving. And that is wrong and incorrect. And again, that goes on both spectrums. I don't discriminate. Like when I talk about things, I think it's very important that men and women know that we all have responsibilities to one another. If we choose to be in a relationship with one another, we have responsibilities to be with, to answer to one another. Oh, there go that word. I'm not answering to. I don't have to answer to. Oh, that's a good one. Because that just brings up, I'm sorry. I'm not going to skip around on these, but I got to read this one. I got to read this one. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, there's so many posts on here that I think are good. Where is it? It's fairly new, so it should be up front. Yeah, I post like every day, yeah. So this page builds. Marry a man who would say, let me ask my wife first. Not because he's a weakling, but because your opinion is respected. Marry a man who would say, let me ask my wife first. Not because he's a weakling, but because your opinion is respected. Your opinion is respected. So if you have to ask permission, it's not asking, like we all grown. Like I don't have to ask permission. But respectfully, I'm going to say to the other person, hey, are we available this weekend? Or can we do XYZ? Or hey, my boy asked me if I could help him move this weekend. Is that cool with you? Are we free? Or hey, my girl wants to go out this weekend because, you know, she just wants a girl's night out. Is that cool with you? Are we free? That's a relationship, y'all. If you have problems doing that, then you need to rethink if you need to be in a relationship. You need to rethink if you need to be in a relationship. Some things are just simple. Every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. So when y'all make y'all comments later, please tell me what the no matter what means to you. Because this post, again, I'm going to speak for it. It wasn't mine. I shared it. But I'm going to speak and say this is all positive. This is not saying, this is not a hee hee ha ha joke one. This is not, sarcastic one. This is a straightforward no matter what. So which that means to me, they're talking about something positive. It doesn't mean he cheated on me and I'm going to stay no matter what. And some people do that. I'm not judging. I'm not knocking that. Some people have gone through infidelity and they've come back stronger with one another. Some people have gone through infidelity and they can't deal with it. They can't forgive or they can't get over it. So I'm not knocking if you have dealt with infidelity in your marriage and you decided to be with your spouse. You do what's best for you all. Don't worry about everybody else. If I worried about everything everybody said, y'all, it's some things that I would not be doing. But because I know me, and what's important to me may not be important to somebody else, that's your business. So if you want to stay with your significant other, if they cheated, you all know the root issue of that. I never say there's an excuse for cheating. You have to come to terms with why there's a reason for you to step out. Some people do it just because they want to. Let's be honest. And you have to decide and determine if that's what happened in your relationship. And some people do it because they've lost something. No excuse, not giving an excuse for cheating. But what does the no matter what mean? Every man, this was posted on July 22nd. If you want to go back and look at it. There were 2 comments. One gentleman said, support goes a long way. The other one was like, well, and I could hear his voice because I know who said this. Like, well, but we had quite a few people to like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, it was 7 men between that liked and loved it, and there were quite a few ladies that liked and loved it as well. But there were about 7 men that liked it, and of course, they would, because this post is totally all about them and their need for support from us. So, ladies, if you're gonna get in a relationship, understand that brother is not Superman. I don't care how much he do this. I don't care what he says. He is not Superman. He can be your Superman at times. But when it comes to matters of life and situations that are out of his control, let's be fair and let Superman think he's Superman and support him and rub him on his shoulder, pat him on his back, feed him, love him, sex him up like he's Superman. And I guarantee you, that brother will be Superman. So support each other. Support each other. Once again, every man needs a woman who won't quit on him no matter what. And that no matter what is a definite positive. And I'm going to read this last one. One of the first signs of real love is the moment you realize they are trying their very best to understand you. When the brother is down, when he's knocked down, and you try to understand him, and you try to see why, that's all he needs. When a sister is down, and when a sister is not at her peak perfect and her best, and she's going through some issues with insecurity, she's going through some issues with not trusting. Now, mind you, it's not that men don't have these issues either, as well. It just magnifies more in females. Certain things magnify more in females. So the first thing they're going to say is she insecure or she doesn't trust. So try to understand why she's showing some insecurities. Try to understand why she may not be trusting. Try to understand that. If you really love her, if you're really growing with her, if you really want to make the relationship work, if you really want to show her that you need her and you are there for her and you her Superman, then try to understand her and encourage her to get some help. I'm going to tell y'all and I'm going to get off. One of the best decisions I've ever made in my life for myself was to get counseling. Counseling helped me move from some situations I shouldn't have been in. And counseling helped me move from situations I shouldn't have been in for myself. Counseling helped me move past some situations that were not my doing, but affected me in so many ways. Counseling helped me to see how great and special I am. I kind of already knew it before counseling, y'all, but it just kind of stacked it for me. But male and female alike, counseling will save your life. Counseling will save your relationship. Counseling will save relationships. It's not just spouses, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, people courting. Your relationships with your children, your relationships with your parents. Because in counseling, you learn that forgiveness is for you. And you're not always going to get what you need from somebody else that hurt you or put you in a position where you were hurt. You were hurt. You're being operate seamlessly. It's your ego with its doubts, limitations, and belief and hinder the process. I got time today. Your being operates seamlessly. It operates your ego with its doubts, limitations, and belief that hinder the process. I got time today. Okay, you got time today, Mr. Benjamin. Well, okay, I said something, obviously, that got you to type that. So you got to help me out. At what point? What are you talking about? Like, real quick, what are you talking about? What did I say that you're responding to? And we'll give Mr. Benjamin a minute to make sure we clear on what he's commenting, what he's saying. So what are you saying, Mr. Benjamin? You said your being operates seamlessly. It's your ego with its doubts, limitations, and belief that hinder the process. That hinder the growth process, I'm assuming. That hinder the process of you getting better. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. That hinders the process of you making a change, I'm assuming. Yes? No? I definitely believe that's what Mr. Benjamin is saying. You hinder yourself. You hinder your process. Your ego hinders your growth. With doubts and limitations and belief that hinder the process. Hinders the process of growth, growing. Mr. Benjamin, I'm going to call you when we're done. I want you to expound on that. All right. All right, so I'm going to end this. Just know that we all need understanding. We need understanding from one another. If you're going to come into my bubble, if you're going to take the time and I allow you into my circle, and we are building something, we're building a friendship, we're building into a relationship, however that goes, just understand and know, I need your understanding. I need your understanding to learn me. I also need to give you my understanding to learn you. And if we discover, this is everybody, if we discover what we're beginning to understand and know is not for us, it is okay to walk away. It is okay. I'd rather end something on a positive note. I don't like to leave enemies. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't have enemies. For what? Like, if it didn't work, it didn't work. I wish you the best. Godspeed. And whatever you do. If you did some things that hurt or harmed me in some type of way, I promise you I've already forgiven you. Because it does not help me to hold on to that. It doesn't. Do you have to have people in your life that hinder or hurt you? No. I will not. I do not. I cut it. Okay. When people play the victim card, these anecdotal mindsets have to be dealt with. They create demons. Oh, I totally get that. I totally believe that. And that is where a narcissist comes in. A narcissist plays the victim card. They will finger point and do the blame game and try to make you feel like it's you, because they're playing the victim. I'm the victim. You're the reason why. You're the reason why I can't be a success. You're the reason why I couldn't stay in that relationship because of what you did and what you said. You're the reason why. You're the reason why. They never look at themselves to say, what did I do to cause this action in this person? If there's an action that you caused, that comes with what he is saying. You can't have the victim mindset. You can't play that victim card. Oh, I was molested. Stop. No insult, no disrespect in that comment. Because all of us have been somewhere at some point in some time that caused some type of trauma in our life. Not saying everybody was molested. So when I said that, I'm not saying that to be ignorant or to be insensitive. Because some of us have a story. So, but you can't use that all your life. You have to get help for yourself. If you were in an abusive situation, if your parents divorced, and if your parents divorce, and you know, it put you in a bad situation, in a bad spot, I got it. I got it. Food. These ladies are working, y'all. I'm going to definitely get off now because they've been here since about 3 o'clock grinding out, and I want to make sure they eat. So, let me end this. So, understand one another. I like what Benjamin said. Don't play the victim card. Hone in, take responsibility for what you've done and what has happened. And even if you didn't do it, you have to understand, you have to accept some things to get over some things. Not saying that you have to ignore them, but get help for yourself. Counseling A number 1. All right, y'all. So, hey, I love y'all. Camper Conversations went a little bit different. The camper is there. I did start there. So I'm in the right place. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care of each other. If you don't have good intentions, leave people to the ones that do. All right? Y'all have a good weekend. Love y'all.